Today's story is about a woman, her own family called boring, dirty, and useless every single day. Yet, no one knew that this same woman would one day become the chief engineer of humanity's first create mission A Mars, a husband who called her Mrs. Hart at the office, a home where her place had been quietly taken over by her husband's mistress, a 5-year-old son who refused to even call her mom. This is the story of Erin Hart, how she reclaimed her identity, how she got her revenge, and how she finally found real love. Stay, stay till the end because the twist in the story will genuinely surprise you. At the center of the story is Erin Hart. She works as an all ethics field test engineer, meaning her job is to go out into the field and test whether all driving systems and machines are actually safe and ethically sound. That job means spending most of her days covered in dust at testing sites. Her husband, Garrett Walker, is the CEO of Walker Group. 8 years earlier, Garrett, then heir to a wealthy family, fell for Erin, an ordinary scholarship student, and proposed to her 3 times before she finally said yes. His family did not approve of the relationship, so Garrett cut ties with his own family and started Walker Consulting from scratch. Erin used her all ethics company slowly grew into one of Silicon Valley top firms. But over time everything changed. Erin's 5-year-old son Miles and her husband Garrett both gradually began pushing her aside. The main reason a woman named Shirin Smith, Garrett's new secretary, about 3 months earlier, Serena had supposedly saved Garrett and Mills in a car accident, and ever since she had carved out a place in the family as their savior. We'll find out later in the story that the accident was actually staged, but that comes later. The real pictures becomes clear on Erin's birthday. The birthday card Miles spent all day making was not for Erin at all. It was for Serena's upcoming birthday. Garrett and Miles both leave to go celebrate Serena's birthday, leaving Erin alone. When she goes to the restaurant where the family used to celebrate every year, she finds Garrett and Miles there celebrating Serena's birthday instead. Even more painful, Miles openly tells Serena, "Will you be my mom?" And Garrett walks talking to his friends openly admits Erin has become boring to him. All she does is run tests, come home covered in dust, and fill out evaluation forms. Where this is the same man who once said watching Erin focus so intently in the lab was what made him fall for her. Right around this time, Erin faces a major turning point. Her beloved mentor, Professor Vance, falls critically ill. From his deathbed, he once again asked Erin to join the Phoenix Mars Landing Project, a highly classified NASA program working to solve a spacecraft propulsion problem and had that stumped scientists for decades. Erin was once an exceptionally gifted aerospace engineering student. She won a national aviation engineering competition at just 18. But after marrying Garrett, she set aside that part in favor of family life and helping build her husband's company. Professor Vance tells her repeatedly that her talent is irreplaceable for this research and that this is her chance to finally live out her lifelong dream. The case joining the project means completely severing all social ties, having your identity erased with no guarantee of ever returning. The first time Erin turns it down, she has a 5-year-old son. Her husband is about to return from an overseas assignment and she can't imagine leaving her family behind. But after the humiliation of her birthday, after being utterly disgraced by the very family she had sacrificed everything for, Erin changes her mind. She gets back to Professor Vance and tells him, I have made up my mind. I am joining the Phoenix Project. The moment she signs, she given a 5-day buffer, a final window to say goodbye to her family. It's during this time that she meets Dr. Sean Hudson, CTO of Huck Aerospace Laboratory, and there to the Hudson family and another of Professor Vance's students. The professor introduced them, saying that for anything related to research or life going forward, they should be able to count on each other. During her 5 days to say goodbye, Erin first resigns from the company she and Garrett built together. But Garrett does not even take the news seriously when an employee tries to inform him. He brushed it off, saying Erin's matters don't need to be reported to him separately. Everything should just be handled per company policy. Garrett's mother humiliates Erin harshly during this time, telling her that a woman from an ordinary background can only survive in a wealthy family by staying obedient and submissive, and that Erin is now showing uncomfortable attitude. Even Miles turns against her, insisting this mother is nowhere near as pretty or fun as Selena. Erin hears her own son say point blank, "Don't want you as my mom." Then Serena pulls a scams. She throws water on herself and accuses Erin of attacking her. Without any proof, Garrett takes Serena's side over his own wife and pressures Erin to apologize. This scene is also the first time it's revealed that Garrett and Erin are secretly married. The company's longtime employees have known for years, but the newer staff had no idea because Garrett has never once publicly introduced Erin as his wife. But the deepest wound comes on the day of the family trip to Johnson Space Park. Erin planned this as her final day with the family before leaving. One last time together before the goodbye, but right then Serena's caused faking chest pain, and Garrett and Miles rush off to the hospital to see her, leaving Erin waiting alone at the park all day. No one ever comes back. In the moment Erin finally understands this family feels no real loss at her leaving. The Phoenix Project staff arrive to tell her it's time. She signs the mandatory relationship termination agreement and boards the submersible shuttle. Later that evening, Garrett and Miles comes home to find Erin gone. From the household staff, they learned that Erin had sent Garrett a document that very morning and that she had left Miles in tears, drags his father to the spaceport. There they see Erin walking through the boarding gate. Miles screams for her, but there's too late. Time runs out. Using his position, Garrett tries to get a spaceport authorities to check the interrogation flight records for a passenger named Erin Hart, but the system shows no record of any such passenger. Right then, Dr. Finn Hudson appears. It turns out Huck Club has a cooperation.
Action.
It turns out Hawk Lab has a cooperation agreement with NASA for the Phoenix project, and anyone who joins the project has their identity literally erased for security and confidentiality reasons. Sin tells him plainly Erin Hart no longer exists on Earth. This scene is a major turning point in the story. It's the first moment Garrett truly grasps that this is not some attention-seeking act or drama. Erin is really gone and she might never come back. Back home, while reorganizing his bookshelf, Garrett finds a document Erin had left for him before she left. One had dismissed at the time, assuming it was some kind of design proposal Erin wanted to use to compete with Serena. But when he opens it, he divorced. It's actually a divorce agreement Erin had prepared long before. In the moment, the entire timeline takes on new meaning for Garrett. The day Erin told him, "Think the document I gave you made everything clear." That was the day she was actually telling him she wanted a divorce, and Garrett had completely missed it. Even Erin's wedding ring turns up left behind in the house, meaning she had cut every tie completely. All along, Garrett had assumed Erin was doing all this to make him jealous or to get his attention. Now he understands she genuinely meant to leave, and he ignored every single sign along the way. Desperate, Garrett has seen Hudson's recent movements tracked, fires, hotels, meeting records, and divorce that 3 days earlier seen both an interstellar flight ticket to the Artemis Lunar Transfer Station, right where the Phoenix Project's sealed base is located. In other words, Erin is on the far side of the moon at the secret base for the Mars mission. Garrett then offers a deal through Wacker Consulting, a complete AI safety review system for the Phoenix project. Free options on one condition: he and Miles be allowed to enter the base as observers. After much difficulty, approval comes through, and Garrett and Miles board an interstellar flight to the base. Worn out from the long journey, Miles falls ill and she admitted to the base's medical center. It's here that they learn Erin is no longer just a test engineer. She is now the chief engineer of the Phoenix research team, an S-level protected installation under special NASA security. A staff member tells them that once when a hydraulic support in the simulation cabin failed, Erin used her own arm to shield the critical parameter board and got injured, and that scene Hudson had rushed in like a madman to rescue her, getting scratched and bloodlined himself and stayed by her side the entire time she was unconscious. Miles finds his mother and clings to her, crying, apologizing. Erin comforts him, but right then Garrett and Serena, who had used the father's influence to sneak into the base, also arrive. Serena accused Erin of being a homewrecker, twisting the blame back into her for destroying the family. When the argument escalates and Serena tries to slap Erin, Garrett stops her, and in this was a major truth comes out. In her anger, Serena accidentally admits that the car accident from 3 months ago where she supposedly saved Garrett and Miles was staged. She had buried the driver herself just so she could play the hero and worm her way into Garrett's family. She also admits she had been closing Miles against the mother every single day, so he had grown to resent Erin. Even after learning the truth, Garrett does not give up. He offers Erin an enormous sum of money, starting at $10 million and escalating step by step to 20, 50, even 200 million, just to get her to remarry him. Erin's answer is clear: money can't buy me, and you are not even worth that much. Garrett still can't believe an ordinary test engineer could become chief engineer. He assumes Sin must have manipulated the position for her out of romantic interest, but Sin himself sets the records straight in front of everyone. Erin won a national aviation engineering competition at 18, and it was entirely her own ability that later solves a Mars population problem that had stumped the field for decades. She never treats Erin's marriage or motherhood as something that diminishes her worth. He says plainly that being married or being a mother should never be reasons to look down on a woman. When Garrett, in the frustration, tries to physically drag Erin away, the base's federal security term detains him, threatening the safety of the Phoenix project. Chief engineer is a federal offense. Erin says silence and anger at first, but ultimately, for Miles' sake, asks them to let Garrett go, while making it absolutely clear that her decision stands. She will not be going back to him. Miles remains hospitalized while recovering. Erin explained to him that she is now part of an extremely important mission and that no matter how painful it is, he can't stay with her. She promised that once he is grown up enough to take care of himself, she will come back for him. It's a bittersweet promise, more than a certainty, but it's meant to spare her son more pain. Garrett and Miles returns to Earth. Erin sends along Miles' favorite pudding and a photo of the two of them, but sends nothing for Garrett. That small detail is Garrett harder than almost anything else, because it makes clear that Erin no longer sees him as her husband at all, only as her ex. Back on Earth, Garrett completely cuts Serena's off, and once he uncovers proof of her stage accident and deception, he has her face legal consequence, even using evidence of her gambling debts to push her towards the same fate as the driver she had bribed. Serenas are in here, but the impotence inside Garrett does not fade. Back at home, he finds things Erin left behind: a custom sleeve, 8 aromatically blend she had researched and made herself because Garrett had trouble sleeping under stress. A notebook where she had carefully written down every one of his and Miles' preferences, love letters, and journal entries from 8 years earlier. In all of it, he sees just how deeply Erin loved them both and how carelessly he had overlooked it all. Unable to bear this realization, Garrett spirals into drinking and one night nearly dies of school poison. When he wakes up in the hospital, he promises Miles that whatever happens, he won't leave him alone again. After 7 years of intense research and relentless work, the day finally arrives. The Phoenix spacecraft successfully lands on Mars. For the first time in human history, people set foot on another planet. At the press conference, Erin Hart, the project's chief engineer, is interviewed. She says the mission is not just about escaping Earth, it's about helping humanity truly take root on another planet. Asked about her past, she says that she once stepped away from research for her family, but is deeply grateful she found her way back to the work she loves. To women who doubt their own dreams, she says whatever reason pulls you away for a while, everyone always has the sense to fly back towards their own sky. Right after the interview, Garrett unexpectedly shows up. After years' efforts, they talk. Garrett thanks her for how well she's cared for Miles, hinting that there's still a place for her in his heart. Just then, someone calls Erin honey and comes to pick her up, and Garrett is stunned to learn Erin is now married. She married Dr. Sean Hudson at the base. ওয়াল্লাহ বিয়ে করে এটুকুও করবো ক্লোজিং চল Garrett asks if she interests her. Well, Erin smilingly replies, there's no room for engineering each other between us. We're on the same page, moving at the same pace, pushing each other's dreams forward. She makes it later. She did not marry Sean out of loneliness or convenience. She married him because she loves him. In the final scene arrives to pick her up, bringing followers to celebrate her big interview and joking